This past weekend I did my first ever Audax and it was 230k, and I've had time to think about stuff that I could have done differently and to maybe make it a little bit easier. And so I've come up with 5 different things that I feel like I've learned from doing my first Audax. So the first thing is to always take cash with you, because we got there and we drove to the start. It's probably about, it's quite a way off, maybe not too far, but anyway, we drove there, and online it said that you could pay by card. We got there, you had to pay by cash. It's just a bit of a faff. And then also, like, on the stops on the way around, excuse me, you had to buy stuff to get a receipt to prove that you've been at certain places, and one of the places only took cash. It was just a bit of a faff. So always take like a £10 note, £20 note with you, just in case you need to use cash on the way around. The second thing I learned is to plan stops. So regardless of how far whether it's 100k, whether it's 200k, even whether it's 50k and it's your first big long ride, I would say think of those as like little sections. So for this 230, it was like, I think it was 60, 60, 50 and then another 60. Does that work out right? It was around that anyway, so they were quite evenly spaced, the actual stops. And that helped so much, like mentally, just knowing that you've only got one ride of 50k, even though it's one big long ride of 230, if you can break it up into little sections. And that was a tip that I got taught with running as well, so, sorry. Sorry about that. Yeah, so like with a half marathon, I would always see it as 2 5 miles and a 3, even though it's the same long term, like your brain can mentally deal with doing a 50k ride or a 5 mile run, rather than it being this like big effort. Like 230k in my head just seems like a very long way. So if you can break it up into little sections, that makes it a lot easier. And when we got we stopped at those 4 different points where we had to get a receipt. And we also stopped when it got to about 200, almost just like as a little, like, well done us, let's have a little stop, and yeah, just have a little stop, look at the Garmin's and be like, yeah, we just rode 200k, which is the furthest any of us had ever ridden, so that's a good little tip. The third thing is chamois cream. I never really used to use chamois cream, and I have started using it on longer rides, especially if it's a bit sweaty and you get a bit clammy and you're going to be out for a long time, because there's nothing worse than having chafing, rubbing, pain on the saddle in such a long ride, because it's just, who wants that? If you can get a bit of the chamois cream I use, actually, let me just show you. Sorry, I've got like a bit of a cough this morning, I don't know why. This is let me show you. The ASOS one. It's vegan, and I got that free with some shorts, but it's such a perfect little pot. And basically, I know there's a lot of, I'll do a separate video on chamois cream maybe. Basically, people say, oh, do you put it on your shorts, do you put it on you? I tend to just put it on me. I don't know whether other people might put it on the shorts as well, but I'd rather just put it on me so I know where I've got it. But yeah, chamois cream. Sorry, I've got a cough and my nose is running, I don't know why. I hope I'm not getting ill for Thailand. I actually go in a couple of days, so. Back to the video in question. So how many is that? 3, 4? Yeah. Sorry, I've got a list of things that I want to include, so I'm just making sure that I'm covering them all. The other thing is food. So you want to make sure you have got plenty of food and you can plan where you're going to actually buy more food, or because if you go in the middle of nowhere and there's no food, you are going to be screwed. You need to eat a lot on the ride. I took dates, Cliff Bars and a couple of gels. I didn't actually have the gels in the end. Oh, and I took 1 bag of like vegan cola bottle sweets just to put in my jersey pocket, just to have something quick if I needed them. See, the only problem with this though is I had some pita breads. I had 3 pita breads and then just like a plain bag of salad, so it was just plain. But that volume of like cooked stodge, I felt really sick on like the next leg of that trip, so I wouldn't do that again. I'd maybe just have 1. Like, you have to have enough with you, but there's no point like stuffing yourself because then you just feel uncomfortable. I'm not used to having that much on rides, so I like to have a little bits every now and again rather than one big like massive like feed. But you've got to do what works for you, find what works for you. And the last thing I would say is that everybody feels pain. So there were 3 of us, there was me, Jay and Ben, and we all had pain in different areas. So Ben had really painful knees, Jay had a bad back, and for me, it was weird, like the outside, so they're my feet on the pedals, there, like just on the outside, like really sore and ached, like it hurt to walk afterwards. I don't know why that is or what that is. I need to definitely look at that. I don't know whether it's where my cleats are, maybe I need to double check and have a look at that. But yeah, that was quite painful. So it's about coping with a bit of discomfort and pain. I mean, if it's like actual excruciating pain and you're going to do yourself injury by carrying on, then don't ever carry on. But these were just like, it was just uncomfortable. So everyone feels that, well, everyone I've spoken to feels that. I don't think many people go on really long distance rides and not feel any kind of pain at all. So just be prepared that you might feel a little bit of discomfort, and it's just coping with it really. I think that's just the thing, it's just like coping with it and then figuring out what you can do next time, because that's the thing I'm going to look at my shoes for my next long trip to hopefully make sure that doesn't happen. So they're my 5 tips. 5, 10, they're my 5 tips to hopefully help if you're going to do an Audax or you're going to do a long ride. So yeah, I've got a couple of days now and then off to Thailand, so hopefully we're getting some long rides in there. And yeah, I think that's it for today. So yeah, let me know if you've got any Audaxes or long rides coming up, because I like to know what other people are doing, just because I'm nosy. And yeah, follow me on Strava. I've got my Strava link below, and if you've not already subscribed, subscribe, because then you get to see more videos about cycling, my adventures on the bike. So yeah, alright, I'll see you next video. Microphone on there, what am I even doing?